Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. Today is October 31st, 2017, and in this video, we are going to be going over the 3 reality-shattering conspiracy theories that turned out to be true in the month of October. To make this video more interesting, we're also going to go over the latest news happening now related around these 3 major truths. And yes, since today is Halloween, I am dressed up as a lion, so please still take me seriously. Bro, the government is still lying to you. Alright, so I think one of the major truths that came out this month in October is the fact that Hollywood and the media industry is run by rapists, molesters, sexual predators, and pedophiles, who of course are connected and protected by the elites, politicians, and mainstream media, which makes them believe they could get away with any crime that they want just because of their power. But because of brave celebrities speaking out, that's not the case. And of course, coming out and speaking out against powerful, lawless sexual predators comes at a price, as we're learning right now from Rose McGowan, who has been one of the leading voices against sexual harassment in Hollywood, pointing fingers at the head of Amazon for complicity and the fact that she was raped by Harvey Weinstein. And now we're finding out that she just had a warrant issued for her arrest on a, quote, drug-related charge stemming from an incident on January 20th, of course, at the Washington Dulles International Airport. Now, of course, many people are skeptical of this, since just 11 days ago, Corey Feldman, another whistleblower, was arrested for marijuana and smeared in the mainstream media after saying that he would expose the people who abused him. Now, of course, Corey Feldman was just on the Today Show, where he accused NBC of slanting the coverage against him, but also vowed to release the names of 6 powerful Hollywood pedophiles within the industry. But to do this, he said that he needs $10 million in order to hire lawyers and to make a full feature film revealing exactly what happened to him, which of course led many people to criticize him, even his own mother coming out calling him a, quote, scam artist. Now, $10 million is a lot of money, but ultimately we're going to have to wait to find out the truth behind this situation. But even without the Corey Feldman situation, we're still finding out shocking details about the abuse that happens in Hollywood, as we're learning that it was over 40 years now that Harvey Weinstein was able to get away with assaulting women. While, of course, the police failed to prosecute him, the media sat on the stories, and he was still well connected with the upper echelons of Washington, D.C., which we're finding out is just as dirty as Hollywood, as not just one woman came out against former CIA head, warmongering demon George H.W. Bush, but a second, a third, and even a 4th woman came out talking about how this monster sexually assaulted and groped them while making David Copperfield jokes, and in reality, this dirtbag should be in jail for this already, especially if we had any semblance of justice, but we don't. And to add the cherry on top, we of course have the Kevin Spacey scandal happening now, where he was accused of sexually assaulting another minor, which even Family Guy joked about previously before, with one of the characters being a young baby running out saying, "Help, I escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement." And now more people are coming out saying that he sexually abused their loved ones, and he even admitted there are more stories about him. And this story shouldn't be a surprise for everyone, since it goes all the way up to the top, and we're finding out that Kevin Spacey, Bill Clinton, and even Donald Trump have a common friend, and that of course is to billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who previously took Bill Clinton and Kevin Spacey on rides on his private jet, which was called the Lolita Express. A man who had around 100 allegations of sexual assault, rape, and sexual child abuse with underage girls that of course he settled in court for millions of dollars, even as recently as just a few weeks ago. And after he had those airplane rides with Bill Clinton on the Lolita Express, the sick part of this story is that he even started a group to groom child actors. And the same time that Spacey was promoting his foundation and searching for eager children, the report actually came out and was published, revealing his private flights on the Lolita Express. All facts, by the way, that you won't hear on the mainstream media, who, by the way, are openly covering up this whole entire scandal. The reaction to this entire situation is utterly insane, mainly because Kevin Spacey came out and said, "Well, I don't remember, I was drunk. Sorry if I did, and guess what? I'm gay now," which in some strange brain-altering way actually worked for him. The CEO of Allied Artists came out and defended Kevin Spacey because he was drunk and it happened 30 years ago. Mainstream media came out and just focused just on the single fact that he came out as a gay man. The BBC, which by the way, protected the Jimmy Savile pedophile, came out and wrote, "Why are people so angry about Kevin Spacey coming out?" ABC News, Kevin Spacey comes out in emotional tweet. And in reality, the mainstream media should have ran stories saying that Kevin Spacey came out as a drunk who can't remember if he was a predator pedophile. And I can't even fathom how, as a responsible news organization, could you even run those headlines, which to me proves and is very indicative, and how we now know it's not only the politicians, it's not only the elites, it's not only the police department, but it's especially the media, the whole entertainment industry that is complicit with horrible sexual predators and pedophiles within the media business. And if you would have told anyone a month ago that the entertainment industry in Hollywood is infested with pedophiles and cover-ups of their crimes, you would have been laughed at. But now, it's becoming truer by the day. And now, the second theory that came out to be true this month of October is the very fact that the CIA pretty much still runs the show and controls the mainstream media narrative. As we found out from the new released JFK files that came out a few days ago, which confirmed that the CIA had over 40 journalists who were undercover CIA agents helping stage the national discourse. Also uncovered in these new documents was the CIA plotting false flag terrorist attacks, murder plots, conspiring to run a fake terrorist attack in Miami that would kill American citizens, and more evidence contradicting the official story of what actually happened during the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Before the documents came out, U.S. President Donald Trump said he would release all of them for full transparency. The CIA came to him, said, not so fast, buddy. Postponed more damaging documentation coming out of the CIA's crimes, delaying the official release for another 6 months, which of course is spreading more conspiracies in the name, of course, of a threat to national security. And you would think with the CIA having 50 years to redact this article, and you would think 50 years would be long enough for the CIA to redact some documents that they're going to make to the public, and we shouldn't be so naive to think that the government would expose themselves in this situation. But what this ultimately does show us is that the CIA and the deep state made a decision, and Donald Trump had to go along with it, which should show everyone who's really in charge. And if you would tell anyone in the general public a month ago that the CIA infiltrated the mainstream media, was controlling the narrative, and was telling Donald Trump what to do, they wouldn't believe you. But now we have the documents to prove that it is true. And now the third story I wanted to bring you is the very fact that our government is not a democratic republic, but a criminal enterprise bribed by any foreign entity where morals don't exist and you could buy anything, like advanced U.S. military weapons technology to Saudi Arabia, and of course control of U.S. uranium to Russia. All of this while Donald Trump tells you that releasing government files from 50 years ago showing what the government was doing is a threat to national security. I mean, just this month alone, we found out how Russia got control of 20% of American uranium, which of course was approved by the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton's State Department at the time. A scandal that of course highlighted and showed bribery, extortion, kickbacks, shady business that saw Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and their foundations royally compensated for, which of course Obama, the Justice Department, and even the FBI, which by the way was run by Robert Mueller at the time, knew and caught Russian spies who got caught getting close to Hillary Clinton, which led Hillary Clinton to expedite their release back to Russia, proved this deal while the legal judicial system decided to turn a blind eye for some reason, which the CIA embedded mainstream media is being oddly quiet about, as now the biggest story is about Trump's ex-campaign manager, Paul Manafort, pleading not guilty of not paying his taxes, filling out proper government forms, and receiving money from Ukraine and Russia, being a cheesy lobbyist, who, by the way, was under investigation for these alleged crimes even before becoming Trump's campaign manager years ago. Now, whatever that amounts to, we'll see as it develops, but ultimately, I think we're all finding out about how corrupt, shady, and unethical politicians are in government that will ultimately do anything for a buck, sell this country down a river, cover it up, get away with it, unless you're a political target of theirs. And if you would have told that to somebody a month ago, yeah, I guess and I hope it would be widely known anyway, but at least now we have more proof of it. So yeah, as you could see, a lot of the stories that I covered today had to do with big media companies hiding these bigger truths from you, which they will always do, and that's why I do what I do here on this YouTube channel, to provide an alternative, an answer, a solution, an alternative to the mass disinformation and weaponized information that is being used against you. I do this without any corporate or government help, but only your donations on wearechange.org/donate. If you believe in this message and want it spread more, consider helping us. Sharing this video with your friends and family members means a lot to me. If you can't, and if you disagree, feel free to verbally abuse me in the comment section below, or in the rare case, engage in some dialogue, which I will be paying attention to. I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching.